But I listen to some of these Chelsea fans, and they're like, "Oh, but what do you expect? Like they're all young kids." But that's exactly what I'm saying. There was one arguing me on Twitter saying, "Oh, this isn't Lampard." That's my point. It ain't Lampard. So what are you expecting? You ain't got Drogba out there anymore, Hazards. You ain't got Lampards, and they've built you. This is your model. And these young kids, and you've got this ownership, you've got he's putting in charge Pochettino for way too long, Potter, Lampard, all these reckless decisions. For me, I think this ownership is completely reckless and it's mad. But Mo, I don't know where you sit with this
Here's
one,
my
bro.
view on Chelsea, to be honest. Nader. It's a very complicated situation because they cannot sack the guy now because of the cup final. But the guy should be sacked, not because of the bad football he plays, because if you're a Chelsea Football Club, it doesn't matter the circumstances. I will hold the same for my club. I'll say the same about Arsenal, Liverpool, all the big teams. If you consider yourself a big team, sitting 10th in the table after 22 games warrants a sack. Done. Over. No context. Nothing. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Nothing.
Facts.
Nothing. There's nothing here. Like there's no. However, when I watch Chelsea the majority of the season, I see what he's trying to do. I have a different opinion than Lewis on this. I think the majority of the players that Chelsea have are overrated. When I mean overrated, I don't mean they are bad. I mean they can become good, but they aren't good now. That the club recruitment lacks experience. I actually don't like Thiago Silva. I'm just not one. Just from Paris Saint-Germain, I just don't like him. I actually
is that because of who you support though?
No, not because of Milan. Because he chose the easy route to go to PSG. Like this heritage, the legend Thiago Silva, he didn't do it at the top. Like he won one league title with Milan, fair enough. When Milan had a very good team with Ibrahimovic, Robinho, Pato, and all these guys. And then he went to Paris Saint-Germain. When he came to Chelsea, he's good. But forget Thiago Silva. To be honest with you, he's 39 years old. You shouldn't be playing for Chelsea Football Club at 39 years old. No matter how legend you are, if Chelsea get tomorrow Sergio Ramos, I will say the exact same thing.
I'd give a bit of credit to where he stayed because last season he deserved the spot. It's our player of the season by a mile.
I agree,
Lewis.
I don't know why you're coming to Thiago,
Lewis,
Lewis,
that's the problem, Lewis. That's the problem. The last season he deserved the spot. You cannot tell me that Chelsea Football Club, 38 years old, is one of your best players. He was immobile. He is slow. He relies so much on reading of the game, Lewis.
I rated Fofana. I rated Badiashile.
I rate Badiashile. I don't think Koulibaly was.
That's a credit to him, not just in spite of the age. This season,
he weren't great.
This season he looks his age, and I don't think he should be starting for us. I hear that.
Yes.
But last season, no. Last season,
my point with Thiago Silva is something else as well. I don't think Thiago Silva is a leader. For some reason, I just don't see him as a leader. When I mean a leader, I mean Van Dijk. You know what I mean? As someone who can lead a line, can teach people. I don't see him that guy. Everyone played around him, didn't look great, right? It's not. Sometimes you can be a great defender, fantastic, but not a leader. And not because you're old. Raheem Sterling is 29 years old, won multiple Premier Leagues, and he isn't a leader. You being old doesn't mean you have leadership characters. Bruno Fernandes is one of the worst captains in the Premier League, and he's 30 years old, right? You being old, people just mistaken what I'm saying. You being old doesn't mean you are a leader. You can be as old as you can, but you aren't a leader, right? Leadership is completely different. They don't have leadership on the pitch. They have a bunch of young players that some of them are talented, but also I think they're overrated. They are 10s. They shouldn't be 10s. But I think at this point, Chelsea can't sack Pochettino unless he loses the final. But you can't sack him now because you will do the same as what Spurs did with Mourinho. No matter how dire it was,
no, but
you have to give the. You have to give
Spurs sacked the serial winner before a cup final. We're sacking a serial loser.
Lewis, you have to give him the chance to play against Liverpool in the final.
Why do I have? He's just had the chance. He played him yesterday.
He played them yesterday at Anfield. This is crap. This is bullshit. What you say? You really think that he should be sacked now?
Guy has shown that he can handle the big occasion in Pochettino.
Didn't he play a good game against Arsenal? Didn't he play a good game against Man City? Didn't he play a good game against Liverpool? You're picking the one game when he got outplayed, right?
So
he got outplayed against Man United. Oh, come on. All right, yes, I get what you're saying, bro. But you want to sack the manager now, and someone else comes and tries to win the time. Oh, Pochettino didn't win it.
I think is more capable.
Oh my God, you're doing exactly what Daniel Levy did to Mourinho. You don't want to give him the credit.
But that is a serial winner. That's why it didn't make sense. They've never won shit. This is Tottenham sacking a serial winner. This is Chelsea sacking a loser. How is that so hard to understand, bro?
It is hard to understand for me. I don't. Listen, how many people do you think he should sack before the? I think just give him 3
I think he
weeks.
should be sacked right now. He should have been sacked after. He should have been left at
Yeah,
Anfield.
but Mo, you just said he was it's a sackable offense because
Yeah, but that's why I started saying it's a very complicated situation. If they weren't in the cup final, he should have been sacked weeks ago. Weeks ago, when they were
Should have
halfway
been
through
sacked
the.
weeks ago too.
Listen, me and Lewis, I think we met on Northside channel, right? And you asked me that time, and I said, listen, you should sack him that time. And I said, you halfway through the season,
And you think
sitting
he's
10th.
done enough since then to
No,
warrant
he's
the
not.
job?
No, he hasn't. However, I think it's unfair to the guy to sack him before the final.
Oh, boo-hoo, man. We're ruthless. Oh, it's unfair to him. Fuck him. What's he done to warrant keeping the job? It's unfair to him. Come on, man. Oh, cry me a river. Oh, it's unfair to him. What's he done to warrant even walking the team out for that final? Like you just said, we are 10th in February. Get him out.
Anyway,
Get someone else
you
in.
support Chelsea. I'm looking from outside. I see it different. In my opinion, he deserves at least to play the cup final. Then you fucking sack him after this. I don't give a fuck. I actually believe. Here's the thing. I actually believe, and I said that on my show earlier. I said yesterday. I think me and you said that yesterday. We were in the same show. I said actually, I think by March Chelsea will be 12th, not 10th. Chelsea will lose to Aston Villa. Will lose to Man City. I believe that is going to happen. But again, it's a very complicated situation. You are choosing.
Why do you think he deserves to stay then, Mo? If you think they're going to
just the cup final, then just the cup final. It's as I told you,
he's 10th in February.
Exactly. See, you're not hearing what I'm saying. It's all about the cup final. Then it's not about his performances. And I believe that Poch.
Do you think he can win the cup final, Mo? Do you think he can win it?
Yes. Everyone can win. Anyone can win the cup final.
It's a one-off game, so I mean, he has.
It's a one-off game. Come on, people. It can be 0-0 and penalties.
Imagine if he wins that. Then what are you going to do, Lou? You're stuck.
Exactly. So here is what
Lewis. Consolation goal of Europe. I still want him gone.
I believe that, and I'm not going to change what I said, Lewis. I'm not going to change
more than that.
I actually see what he's trying to do. He makes mistakes, tons of mistakes, but I think I see a footprint. And I said it from the first day, like after 2-3 weeks. I think Chelsea on the pitch look better than a team like Man United. You look better than a team. To be honest, you look better than a team like Newcastle, even though they have better players. That's when me and you disagree. You rate your players very highly. I don't. I look from outside.
Do you think we have a 10th place squad?
No, you aren't. See, you're not listening. No, that's all your comeback line every time. And we agree. Lewis, we agree.
Squad, then you think we're underachieving because of the manager. If you believe the squad is better than 10th.
There are many aspects of it. The manager is part of it. The manager is part of it, but it's not only him.
No, the finishing hasn't been good. I did address that at the start too.
Okay, so let me ask you something. What do you like? And I know you can be objective, right? Without outside of the rent. What do you see good about Pochettino? Do you see? I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you can answer. Do you see a footprint, like a plan, a style of play, or no?
I see an aim of pressing, but it looks disjointed.
Yeah.
We're getting somewhere. What his idea is, but it doesn't work. Pushing Enzo further forward isn't good. Pushing the defenders tight for Thiago Silva isn't working. Set piece.
But he doesn't play a high line every game, does he? Not every game you play.
Depending on the opposition.
Exactly. So he does change that a little bit, right? Weird. It was an idiotic thing to do from him.
If you ask me what good has Poch done?
The players are the same. They are just same. I think they're the same.
Know.
Yeah, okay. You have a style of play. I think you create a lot of chances. I actually think some of the players you have are crap. I believe Raheem Sterling is a shit player. He isn't as good. He's just a Pep system merchant. Mudryk is garbage.
He's inconsistent.
Mudryk is garbage. I believe Broya is what we have. I believe that Enzo Fernandez, I don't know what he's trying to do with him. I see the talent on the ball, off the ball, and I understand why Poch isn't putting him in a double pivot. My opinion, you might disagree with me. I believe that Enzo Fernandez has zero defensive attributes. Zilch, zero, big fat zero. He's too slow. He can't tackle. I don't think he defensively is physical. Only Caicedo can do the job. Enzo is very good on the ball. We saw that
I
against
think he
Liverpool.
could
He's the
improve
one who
that
completed the
defense, man.
majority of your
That's all.
passes. He's the one who distributed the ball. So on the ball, he's good. Pochettino is worried about the defense. Your defensive guys, every single one of them make individual mistakes. Out of nowhere, you will see someone just passing the ball wrong, missing a pass, not following the mark, right? Not following their guy. Each and every one of them, including Thiago Silva and including the goalkeeper. Every game, Chelsea defense, Badiashile, you remember Badiashile? I rated
Yep.
Badiashile. Too many individual mistakes, too many of them, including not following the guy, being lazy, not being in the right place, right? Missing a tackle, missing a clearance. Chilwell the same. Colwell even does the same, right? That my problem is some of these players. Raheem Sterling. Why the fuck did Raheem Sterling trip on his ball while he's walking with the ball before passing to Nkunku, who was behind the midfield? Liverpool give you the perfect opportunity to play Nkunku
Yep.
one-on-one.
Sterling
Why
was
did he
poor.
fucking trip?
Individually, we were poor as well. As well as we were
Absolutely individually poor.
absolutely.
That's the thing about
I
it.
said the same
People,
thing
it's
as well.
combination.
But when the structure's not good, you're doomed to fail from the start. That's why I started with the
In
manager.
that game, yes. In that game, yes.
Yeah, but we were talking about that game.
Yeah, no. But in Liverpool game, he completely was outplayed and he made that idiotic. Listen, Arsenal
He
did.
didn't make any changes as well to help.
Arsenal
until
did
halftime.
before. A lot of Jurgen Klopp sometimes approach game wrong. Pep does this. I'm not saying
Sometimes.
Poch. I am not saying.
Sometimes
I'm not
they do
gonna
it.
sit here and
That's
tell
the
you
difference.
Pochettino is this and that, right? And I'm not gonna tell you. I just say that Chelsea have a style of play. I believe the run of games, the coming run of games, if he wins against Wolves, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, he's still gonna lose against Spurs. He's still gonna lose against Man City. But we don't
Spurs
know.
postponed, thankfully.
It's at your ground. Oh yeah, it's at your
I
ground.
know it's been moved because the cup final.
Okay, and then you have Liverpool in the cup final, and then you have Brentford, Newcastle, Arsenal, Burnley.
We might be Burnley. We might be
You might,
Burnley.
you might be,
So,
you might be Newcastle.
what do you want to happen now? Who do you want coming in?
Flick Lopetegui there right now. So I'm at that desperate point where I'd even take Mourinho as an interim. I just want Poch gone. That's it.
The guy and then get annoyed.
I just want the guy gone. Give me somebody with a cohesive system that works, decent game management. Give them till the end of the season. And then if they're not it, go and get someone else. Keep sacking till you find the right guy. Don't have to stick with what.
I love that. This is the Chelsea I watched back in the day. It's fucking sack the guy.
Everyone wants the Roman era Chelsea back, but they don't want the Roman era mentality. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's a fair
Todd
point.
Bowley didn't do that, Lewis. Enzo, Caicedo, Badiashile, Malo Gusto, Modric, Broya, Jackson, Cole Palmer. This is not Roman era. This is kindergarten
the
era.
mentality can stay the same. Even if you have
I believe you need 4 or 5
you can bring in a
signings.
bunch of youth players and then add experience on top. The difference is we're talking experience to get into Europe now because of this manager. When you should be talking about that to consolidate 4th. At the very least.
What do you think? Let me ask you both this, right? Let me ask you both this before we move on, right? From Chelsea. What do you think would be a really good season for Chelsea? And what manager do you think would be able to see come in and make that a success? I'll start with you. Lewis, I'll start with you.
I don't even know what's a success for us right now with how much of the season we've wasted. This is my problem with how long it's taken for us to sack Poch. Just keep giving up ground and giving up ground and giving up ground. If you got the right manager, maybe a Hansi Flick, because he's managed to do something with Bayern. Maybe if you could get Flick, Lopetegui, Mourinho are the 3 available right now. You could get one of the 3, and if they manage to get the team ticking, you could look to get into top 6, maybe even push for top 4 if that gets very inconsistent. I can't judge the inconsistencies of those races because you have to be inconsistent to be in that race. If you're consistent, you're looking at the title. You're not looking at top 4. That's why you always see teams dropping points, especially towards the run-in at the end of the season when they're going for both of those areas. So if you can get a good run of form, you can realistically look at all of those options.
Not 4th.
There might still be time for it. Maybe, I don't know. But if you could get in somebody that could get in a run of wins, at the bare minimum, you're in Europa League. And if that's the case, whatever. There's 2 routes into the Champions League next season. Fine.